Hello everyone, welcome back to this week's Trader Joe's Taste Test. We have a really fun one for you, and what I'm most excited about is what's staring down at me right here, which is the gluten-free baguette. I put a little butter on it, and I also have a plain one to dip in some new marinara that we're gonna try. So I don't want this to get cold. We're gonna get right into this week's video right now.
All right, ooh baby, just hold tight. We're up the moonlight, believe in the magic.
So we're trying the new gluten-free baguette two ways. First way is with a little butter, and I did bake it in the oven per the instructions. So I want to try this before it gets too cold.
Here we go. Tastes like wheat bread.
Yeah. It does taste like wheat bread.
Which is interesting because it's gluten-free. Obviously, it doesn't have wheat in it. If you like wheat bread, like just traditional wheat bread, that's exactly what this tastes like. I think the texture and the consistency is pretty solid. Nothing out of the ordinary for me. I honestly, though, would switch things up with how I make a sandwich. Now, I eat this and I think I want to put some butter and peanut butter on this. And I think that would be really good, which is kind of different than what I would think of with a baguette.
Yeah, totally, that is. But I guess because this is less of a sourdough texture or like a chewy texture like that you get from a baguette. And this one is a lot more dense. So that's probably the difference. It's just, it's very like almost like spongy and dense. It doesn't have that same chew that a baguette has, which obviously that's understandable. It's totally two different ingredients being used. I do think it tastes really good. I mean, I think if there's ever a place to go get a gluten-free baguette, Trader Joe's would be the place I would go, because I think they did a good job. And Tim, who's pretty picky about stuff like this, he just ate the entire thing. So he clearly likes it. I really enjoy it too. I think with just butter on it is great, but I think you could make an amazing sandwich with it. I think it'd probably be good to dip in soups and stuff. And speaking of dipping into something, I did heat up the thick, bold, and spicy red sauce. This is the new marinara, and I wanted to dip the baguette plain into here and see how it tastes. So we'll kind of get two versions of this.
Two reviews in one.
Yes, and then we'll obviously tell you how this sauce is and see how spicy it is.
Yeah. It smells very bold, that's for sure.
Okay, definitely has a little spice kick to it.
Yeah.
I
Very
think,
bold, not very spicy. Little spicy, a little bit of a kick.
yeah, I think it'll build. I'm gonna try another bite because I feel like the spice level, it starts off pretty like mediocre, but I think it's one of those types where like the more you eat it, the more it builds up and it gets kind of like hot. So I'm gonna try again.
Yeah, and I feel like Trader Joe's released a spicy marinara. Did they not? Something like that?
The calabrese.
Yeah,
Calabrese or whatever?
Yeah. The spicy calabrese sauce.
Yeah.
This one reminds me a lot of this, and I'm reading on here what it recommends, and it says lasagna. And I thought that's actually probably a good sauce for lasagna if you want the star of the show to be the sauce.
Yeah.
The sauce is bold. It has a lot of flavor, a little bit of spice. That's definitely what I get out of that.
Yeah, totally. I think the spice definitely builds, but it's not overbearing or overpowering to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to reach for something to drink or I need to stop eating it. And I do think that the sauce itself is very tomato based. Obviously, it's a marinara or like a red sauce, but it has a lot of that tomato flavor. And it almost has like a hint of sweetness too, which it might be used to balance out some of that spiciness. But I think it's great sauce. It's thick. It's got a lot of, it's like a very thick sauce. I feel like it could even be like a pizza sauce too, which would be really good.
Yeah, I think you could. If you were going for like kind of a spicier pizza, that would work.
Yeah, so I do like the consistency of the sauce a lot. It's perfect for dipping.
Yeah, my mouth feels pretty warm.
Yeah, mine too. It's got a good little kick in there. So, all right, well, and the bread, as far as the bread goes to dip it, it is great to dip. I think this is a good bread. This is a great bread actually for gluten-free people, so, or for not. Whoever wants the bread, enjoy the bread.
All right, now that we have finished what I think tastes like wheat bread, let's see if it really does, because we're going to be trying next up the wheat crisps, which are wheat crisp crackers. And we also have a cheese to try this with, but I think we'll give a review on the crackers first.
Yeah, it's just the black pepper Toscano cheese that I showed in the haul that I thought would pair well with these crackers. So that's what we're doing. Thank you.
All right.
Cute little squares. I think I did a little bit too much cheese. Or are you just doing the cracker first?
Just the cracker first,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. These are great.
It's kind of sweet.
Yeah, they are definitely sweet. I feel like a lot of these wheat crackers are like have a sweetness to them.
Yeah. It does say it has sugar, but that's like way down the list.
No, it's something about the wheat. It gives it kind of like a sweet flavor, but
Yeah.
I like them. The crispiness of the cracker itself is great. It's not like so crispy that it shatters as soon as you bite into it, but it definitely has like that crunch, and it's just a really nice texture. I really like the flavor of it too. If you like kind of that sweet flavor, you don't like it?
I was just going to say, I think it tastes like wheat thins. And the
Yeah,
name,
it does taste like wheat
the
thins.
name is so similar as wheat crisp rather than wheat thin crackers.
Yeah.
But I don't think they are wheat thins because they're a little bit smaller and they look a little bit different. And it's been a while since I've had wheat thins. But,
Yeah, and the texture's different too.
Is it different?
A little bit.
But it's really similar. So I think
Wheat thins are-
the flavor's pretty similar.
Yeah.
All right, we trying it with the cheese.
Yeah, I
You
tried it
already
with the
did.
cheese.
All right,
I was just
go ahead.
munching.
I much prefer it with the cheese.
Yeah.
Because this cheese is really good too.
I know.
So I think it holds up really well. I just think that the cracker alone, for me at least, it needs something else, and I think cheese is perfect.
Yeah, no, I agree. I wouldn't want to eat them on their own. I do think they're good, but it definitely tones down the sweetness adding the cheese. The sweetness on the cracker is a lot less noticeable. So pair it with something else and see how it goes. I think these are a great cracker, and the holidays are right around the corner. So if you're planning on entertaining, grab a couple boxes of different crackers, because you never know what guest is going to enjoy what cracker. I always like having a variety. So this is a good one to add if you are planning on hosting something. All right, next up we have the enchilada sauce. Now I was not about to attempt making a bunch of enchiladas to try with the sauce, but Tim and I are just going to try it with a spoon and let you guys know how it tastes. I traditionally like adding this to the beefless ground beef crumbles and making kind of like a Taco Bell ground beef dupe, which a
It's spot
coworker
on.
years ago showed me. Tim loves it. So
do.
let's see if this will hold up to the other one that we liked
Let's see.
so much.
It smells bold for sure. So let's see.
Yeah, it does.
That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. I like this.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that I ever tried the other enchilada sauce straight. So I don't know how good of a comparison I can make. But I think that flavor, I obviously could imagine having enchiladas with it, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not too spicy. So if you're somebody that doesn't want like a really spicy enchilada sauce, this is exactly, you know what? It is very, very similar to the original. I will say it's a little more salty. It's got a little bit more saltiness to it. And I feel like it has like a little bit of a like smoky chipotle, like just a hint, not too much, but just a hint. And I think it really tastes nice. I'm trying to see if there's any, oh yeah, chipotle pepper powder. There you go. So you definitely get a little bit of that smokiness, but I think all said and done, it's fantastic. I love it. I'm so glad that they came back out with another enchilada sauce, because I was really sad when they discontinued the old one. And I think this one is great because it's in a bigger jar, so you get a little bit more product, and then I can split it into 2 meals, and it's great. But now that I opened this, that means I'm gonna have to make enchiladas.
We're having enchiladas.
or the ground beef mix.
No complaints from me.
Yeah. Okay, we're moving on to the nuts. We've got 2 different styles of nuts to try. We're obviously gonna do the savory before we go into the sweets. And this first one is Nuts About Elote Mix. And it says the corn, the chili pepper, the cheese, the flavor, it's all here in this can. And it also has crunchy corn kernels, seasoned roasted cashews, pretzels, and pepitas. seasoned and cheesy flavor that evokes elote corn. Are you excited?
I am excited about it. Honestly, like the everything but the elote seasoning. I remember when they first came out with that. I feel like I was putting it on a lot of stuff. So now the fact that this is like built in. Oh, it's got like corn nuts. Okay.
I just read that.
But they look so good. There's a lot of them.
I know, there is a lot. Oh, the corn is good. It's got that crunch. You know what? I'm not a fan of the cashews in here, which is weird because I love cashews.
Well,
maybe I just need to try it individually.
When you have the crunchiness, those are the good ones. They're all crunchy, and then you have a soft one, and it's almost a letdown.
Yeah, I almost like wish they chose a different nut. The cashews, I don't know. I don't know if they're like the best choice for this mix. I love everything else in here though. The corn, the pretzels, the pepitas, all of it is great. I just would prefer a different nut, which is, like I said, very unusual because cashews are probably one of my favorite nuts of all time. So all said and done, I would not buy this again. Just being honest. I wouldn't buy it again. I don't think it's bad. It's just, I don't know. It's just like okay for me. That's just my opinion. What about you?
I honestly, I think this is a nice snack to have. Just, watching TV or something. In between meals, you just want to have some protein or something. I think it's a good snack. Now, would I buy it again? Yeah, maybe not. No, maybe not. Because, the flavor is a little bit less than I was expecting.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like it just doesn't have that, wow, that's really good flavor. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, there's a little bit of seasoning on that. I liked the corn, the corn chips in there.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah, I like that crunch a lot, but I could just get those on my own if I wanted that.
Yeah, like corn nuts or something.
Yeah, I could just go buy corn nuts. Now, I think that they were a little bit fluffier, and corn nuts are actually kind of hard.
Yeah.
So I did like that about the texture of it, but it's just kind of like an average, mix. I don't think there's anything special. I don't think there's anything bad about it, and so therefore I probably wouldn't get it. But
yeah, no, you had a good point. I think that's probably why I'm just like about the cashews. Just the flavor is kind of. I mean, we just tried like a really flavorful red sauce, right? We just tried a really flavorful enchilada sauce. Even the bread had a great flavor to it. The crackers, everything had like a very nice, its own flavor. And I feel like this fell short, which I was surprised. I thought this was going to have the most flavor of it all. So yeah, that is kind of like a bummer that it just didn't really taste like much. Yeah. So.
Well, there's a completely different kind of nut that we're going to be trying. Is this next? Are we trying it?
Yeah.
So this is more of like a dessert nut tin here, but it's
the same nut. It's cashews.
It is. So this is cinnamon sugar cashews with honey and brown sugar. And I think this one will be about as different as possible. So let's see how it is.
Ooh, those are big old ones.
Yeah, they don't, honestly, like, look, I got a combo. I thought it was going to have more like sugar. This looks a little bit more covered in cinnamon.
Though.
Yeah.
It smells like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, I'm going to try it. Oh, that's really good right away.
Yeah, it's got almost like a little crunchy coating on the outside.
Does it?
Yeah, just a slight crunchy coating.
That was really good.
Yeah, it's just like slightly coated. Yeah, these are delicious. And the cashews are spot on for this one. It's very nice, subtle cinnamon sugar dusting. It definitely, the flavor's there, but it's not overpowering to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, these are so sweet. I can't eat. You could eat this whole tin. You really could. Like, it's so, these are so good.
Yeah, those are really good. These cashews have more to them than the other ones. The other ones were like really soft. These ones have a great texture. I like that they didn't overdo it with the cinnamon and sugar. And those nuts are really good. Yeah. I like that.
I agree. I think of the two, if you're going to get one or the other, definitely do the cinnamon sugar ones. Because those have, like you said, a lot, like the cashews themselves are huge compared to the other ones. And I think the coating they put on the outside kind of keeps them fresh because you bite into it and you're like, this is like really a little crunch. Like it has a little crunch to it. So we're on to our last thing. And it is the coffee Panacotta desserts. And I've been looking forward to trying this. They come in their own little individual tins, and then you just dump it upside down on your plate. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, we're just gonna do one, right?
Yeah, we'll just do one. Kind of looks like flan.
Looks
a little
wet.
bit. Yeah.
It's got like, what is that on top? Is that the coffee?
Probably.
Oh, it looks like there's actual coffee like
so
dripping on top.
Come on. How do you get it out? There's no instructions.
Squeeze it.
Okay, so Tim was right. You gotta kind of squeeze the edges to have this thing come out. Otherwise, it's really stuck in there. What?
It looks like, I don't even want to say it.
Cat food.
Yeah.
It does. It looks like cat food. Oh my gosh.
It
This looks like
so much like cat food. Like, I'm going to give it a grade right now. It's at like a failing grade on the visual appeal.
Okay.
It looks like a pate. Oh my god.
I've heard good things about it.
All right. I mean, I just want to like not look because I'm too in my head about this. But this looks like a pate cat food that I have in the pantry. Oh my god.
All right, let's try it. Mmm.
But it tastes damn good.
Wow. That, I know, the look of it is, if you have cats, you already know. Like, if you have cats and you serve wet food, you know what we're talking about. But, yeah, I'm having another bite.
Yeah,
this cat food's delicious.
It tastes really good once you get past the visual of it. Okay, let's describe the flavor.
Okay, so it tastes like coffee.
Does it taste a lot like coffee, though? Because I don't, like, when I taste something that's coffee flavored or that has coffee, it doesn't taste like this. This is like a treat first,
Yeah.
and coffee second. You don't agree? Tastes to me like ice cream almost.
It's very light in the coffee flavor, but it's definitely there. Like, I smell it, I taste it. It's got coffee. Honestly, I thought the texture was gonna throw me off because the texture is kind of like pudding, like a stiffer pudding. You know?
It's like a bread pudding.
Kind of like a gelatinous pudding.
It definitely just like melts in your mouth.
Yeah, and it's nice. Like, I don't know. I just thought the texture wasn't gonna be as appetizing, but it really is. So I think the texture is great. I think the flavor is really nice. It's not overpowering. Nothing. You're not like taking a bite and like, wow, whoa, what is going on? You take a bite and you're like, this is really good, and I'm enjoying this, and I can eat my whole dessert without being like sweet overdosed, because sometimes
it's true.
Feel like Trader Joe's comes out with some stuff where it's just so dang sweet, and you have to have only a couple bites, and then you don't really enjoy it after that because it's just too much. This is one where you can eat the whole thing all to yourself.
Yep, I get behind that entirely.
That wraps up this week's taste test, but you know that means there's a question of the week, and this week's question is, what do you like doing when you're by yourself? What do you enjoy doing while you're by yourself? And I'll tell you mine, because it's very simple, and it might resonate with a lot of you that are mothers and, you know, that have people that need you. I like to just lay in bed. I know that seems so silly, but like, if I'm home alone, I just want to like lay in bed and either like watch something, sometimes just even take a nap, which I very, very rarely take a nap. But that's like nice too. Or just like scroll my phone, just something where I can just lay down and not have to get up a million times. Because as you know, if you're a parent, when you have a kid, I don't care how old they are, they're always asking you for something. So I'll sit down and I'm like up again, and then I'll sit down, up again. It's just, you don't really get to sit down when you're a parent. But that's mine. I don't know.
Well, hey, it's true. It's honest. Mine's kind of nerdy.
Oh,
yeah.
I know yours.
I know. When I'm alone, I like to play video games. You know, it's not something I do very often, except for when we're not spending time together at night, or really only if you guys are gone. And for whatever reason, I'm alone.
Definitely.
You know, pop on that PlayStation and get a few games in. But yeah, a little nerdy, I guess.
Well, you know, it's honest. And I will say there's also one other like little one for me is sometimes I like to clean while no one's home. And I know, like, you're like, oh, you have all this free time, you want to clean. Yes, because when I'm home alone, nobody's getting in my way, nobody's putting footprints after I mop. I'm like, totally, the house looks great. And then the boys come home and I'm like, All that
true.
hard work.
It's true.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just sometimes nice to clean when you're alone. I look forward to reading what your answers are for the question of the week. And of course, let us know which things that you're excited to try and buy that are new. And I think these next couple months at Trader Joe's are just they're gonna hit it hard starting now.
Yeah, they are.
So get ready, save up your money if you really wanna start buying all that seasonal fun stuff, because there's gonna be a lot. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.